But
Slavery's still
nobody
going
wants
on in
to talk
America.
about that. All they want to talk about is America's past in slavery.
We're not talking about America's past, Crow. We talk about American slavery today. America left a door open, a back door for slavery through the criminal justice system. And then they run the criminal justice system to target blacks and to railroad them, the majority, right back into slavery again and right back into being locked up again. You know,
well,
it's
I agree with you there, because we do have the highest incarcerated rate in the world. I understand that, and I'm against it.
It's getting higher. As a matter of fact, the stockbrokers and the stuff they got it on the market where you can buy into the prisons and buy stocks and everything.
I'm against that also. I don't think there should be private-owned prisons. No, I'm totally against that.
Bro, the judges are sitting on the bench. They invested in the prisons. And the more people they send to prison, the more money they make.
I agree.
They sending kids to juvie, just to make money and everything. Some of them have been busted for it and thrown off the bench.
I'm with you, man. I'm on the same team you are.
Don't tell me about slavery being in the past and this and that. You need to fight the slavery that's going on in the United States today with me. You need to wake up and get on board.
But they're doing it with white people too, Juan. So I understand that. But let's take the race issue out of it. It exists for both races versus really all races.
But you gotta look at the incarceration rates and the way people are being targeted and profiled and the way this system is ran. These cops and stuff, and this whole police and this whole system has always been about holding the Negro down, keeping the Negro second class. They use this system, this police system and justice system, to keep the Negro second class, to keep that foot and that hammer on him, constantly, to keep our families broken up, with people in jail.
Look, I totally agree with you on the prison system and the criminal justice system. I'm with you 100%. But now let's just think about it this way. The only way that we can correct that is at the polls, just as Debbie said earlier tonight. We have to start electing people. And I'm going to tell you something else that I believe that we have to do to ever get back to where we have true elected elections where the right person that got the most votes gets there, and that's the old-fashioned paper ballot that cannot be cheated on.
And the only people
permanent record on. And that's the way to do it.
The only people who get on the ballot are bought and paid for by big bank and big elites and et cetera. Them the only ones you're going to get to vote for. Nobody can get in that presidential office without being paid for and bought by somebody.
All right, you two all know. Y'all can have this conversation in 20 minutes together.
Could go on for it.
I know y'all do that all night long. But we need to get we need to give Christian and Roderick a chance to go on and make their summations tonight of what they feel about the American dream. Because you and Crow can go at it all night, and we only got 9 minutes.
You know what I'm saying? And then
actually, it's Crow time, guys. You're getting close to a wrap up. So
right. So Christian,
you got something you want to add?
You and Roderick have anything you want to say today?
Hi, this is Christian and Roderick. This is D.E. Smith, and I do have something I want to add. I've been listening to the show rather all night, and I was just trying to get a handle on whether or not this show was about the American dream and actually to define exactly what that was and what that means. And from what I heard, I cannot determine if it's about racism, and it might be a little bit of both, or if it's about prosperity, or if it's about success, or if it's about our political issues in the world, our presidencies. I don't know what it's about.
It's about a freaking nightmare. That's what it's about. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, and that's what it seems like at this point from what I'm hearing and all the opinions and people's views on how they feel about the American dream and what it's really been defined as, which is prosperity and success and opportunity to come from nothing to something. It seems like it's a lot more than that. So I just wanted to add that, and we could talk about these issues all day, I suppose, because there's a lot of them. King, and you were talking about JFK and he had an agenda. And like you say, when people start to speak about the freedom that's supposed to have and the prosperity and success that comes along with it, it just depends on whose agenda you're talking about. Because if it's something that you have in mind that is not going along with somebody else's list, then there is going to be a problem. So I don't know what the American, at this point, I don't really know, and I don't know a lot about politics. I stopped following politics a long time ago when Bush lost the race and then he got back in somehow. So I just stopped believing in the democracy that they claim that we have. I don't really feel that we have the choices that they claim we have, or the right or the power that the citizens have that they tell us that we have. I don't believe that anymore. So I stopped following that then.
What do you believe is your American dream? That's what it really started out to be. What you believe is your American dream. And have you actually been following your American dream?
The American dream is just that. It's not something I came up with. It's something that's supposed to be already in place. And people are trying to be a part of that dream. And from this show alone, it clearly states that nobody knows what it is. Everybody has their own agenda when it comes to the American dream. It was supposed to be about prosperity and success. But we know clearly that a lot of people didn't get those opportunities and some did. So it's not been fair down the road, whether you're black, white, or whatever it is.
Amen, amen.
And as Arizona said, you know, he took it to another level. He took it back to, 3,900 years or so. And he might be right on that when he touched down on that. And it trickled down to where we are now. And we know history repeats itself. It always repeats itself. It's a cycle. So we need to look at that. It's not so much what people told you have. When someone told you about American dream. As far as my dream is a lot different from what America wants. Okay, so the American dream is a different subject. And so we have to rethink and relook at this thing and perhaps think if this is what we all want. What Martin Luther King said, you know, that we need and what we wanted. You know, he didn't have this in mind. He was talking about being fair, giving the same opportunity that everybody has. You know, and JFK, Kennedy, Robert and his brother John, I'm sure that, you know, and anytime someone, as you know, history has told us, says or warns us, or at least not even warns us, if they just speak the truth of the matter, if they're enlightened enough to speak the truth of the matter, something happens. Yeah. It always been that way.
So Barack Obama don't have nothing to worry about then.
Well, and that's what I'm going. That's where I'm going with the American dream. Whose dream is this?
Yeah.
Thank you, Juan. Thank you, Debbie.
All right, well, y'all take care.
Thank you very much. I love that last caller's comment. I mean, it gives you something to really think about. But American Dream, I thought, you know, was what you dream, what you inspire, what you want, and how you want to live.
I'm going to bed tonight. I'm going to dream, and I hope it's not a nightmare, but the American Dream is...
Juan, let me just leave you with one thought.
Please.
It burned in my mind many years ago, and he was one of my favorite singers and other dancers, you name it. He had all the talent. But Sammy Davis said something that stuck in my mind forever. He said, we may not always see eye to eye, and we may not dance cheek to cheek, but when you mess with us, we'll march shoulder to shoulder. So let's all stick together, my man.
I agree with that. Amen. On that, I'll say thank you for listening to all my audience, and this is Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com.
All right, guys. I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Good night, everybody. Good night, John.
Good night, Debbie. Good night, Juan.
Good night. Thanks for the opportunity, Nighthawk.
Hey, no problem, man.